welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry. That's Bryant. We could have other people joining us here in a bit. We shall see. But the purpose of this show is to go over Sunday sports. I will obviously mention the Wild game that just ended. I'll have a couple minutes about that. Um, Really good game. People saying that Flurry is washed. You may want to watch that game because not only did he stop like two or three breakaways, he's the reason they got a point in that game. My worries about the Wild, any that I may have had, are gone. This team, obviously, a rough start, but you have to look at who they played. New York Rangers, a lot of people's pick for the championship this year. Colorado, who won it last year, the LA Kings, who were a playoff team last year, and most people think they'll be a playoff team again. Vancouver, yes, got it off to a horrible start, but again, a team that a lot of people like and are very high on this year. And then today, Boston, the number one highest scoring team in the league so far this year, 5-1 team. We took them to overtime on their home ice in a very good game. So any worries that I had really about the Wild are gone. Things happen in the early games, but um, we'll move on. So we'll look at tomorrow's slate, and we'll start with football. So we'll kind of look at the early games. We've got like what here? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven games happening at one. So I will just give my brief, quick opinion about them. Indianapolis, Tennessee. You probably all know where I'm going on this one. I picked Tennessee to win the division pre-season. I still think they do win this division. This Indianapolis team has been getting lucky, in my opinion, but I think Tennessee at home here, off a bye, so they've had a week to prepare for this Indianapolis team. I think it's a great spot for Tennessee at home, so I like them. The Giants can now get plus 3.5 in some spots, mostly three. Yeah, okay. Because I got plus three with the Giants. Um, I love Jacksonville. I have. I've been one of Jacksonville's supporters this year with how they played, and I've been on them. But this Giants team is like Jacksonville, but like two steps ahead of Jacksonville. They're underperform or they're overperforming what they should be doing, but they're finding ways to win games even though they shouldn't. So they're a team that potentially could be playoff bound. Jacksonville, only way they're making the playoffs is if they win this division, and it's possible, but um, probably not very likely. Tampa Bay, Carolina, you got Buccaneers at minus 13.5. Um, I'm not getting involved in this game. Tampa Bay doesn't need to blow teams out. They haven't blown teams out. When they do win, it's not by. I think they won the one game. They did very well, but they've been basically keeping games close and losing or winning games close. So maybe Carolina plus 13, but I don't want to put my money on the Carolina Panthers right now. They're kind of a mess, obviously trading McCaffrey away, but I think they might be able to cover the spread. Green Bay at Washington, automatic pass. I will not take the Commanders, but I'm not taking the Packers with how they're playing. So that game is just gone right away. Lions, Cowboys. I like that I'm seeing Cowboys minus 6.5 now instead of 7. Um, I'm just not sure. I like Dallas to win. I'll have Dallas money line and parlays. I like Dallas to win this game. I'm not overly confident if they cover the spread or not. So right now it's just a money line parlay for me. Atlanta, Cincinnati. Yes, Atlanta's been playing well, much better than anybody thought they probably could. But I I like Cincinnati here. I'm a big fan of the Bengals this year and last year. Um, I think they get this one. Um, I think they cover the spread as well. I don't think they blow the Falcons out, but I think they win by 7 to 10 points here. Falcons will try to keep it close, and Bengals will probably cash in the fourth quarter and be a stressful. It'll probably be stressful, but I think the Bengals will cash. And then Browns and Ravens, as of right now, nothing for me. Um, lean to the over. Um, Baltimore finding ways to lose games. The Cleveland Browns always find a way to pull a Cleveland Brown and lose a game. So both both these teams are finding ways to lose games. I don't know who to back in that situation. Cleveland plus 6.5 maybe, but I don't bet on the Browns. I don't like to bet on the Browns. So over maybe in that game, but right now, nothing. Bryant, early games in the NFL. What are you thinking for these ones?
Yeah. Pretty good day of football tomorrow. I think in terms of just like the competitive nature, maybe not being at like marquee games like we had last week with the Chiefs, Bills, and the Cowboys, Eagles. But I think these games are pretty good considering where these teams are at this point in the season. Indy, Tennessee. I'm gonna be honest. I really may be going to back the Colts tomorrow. Offense looked a lot better last week. They're getting Jonathan Taylor back, which is very big. Um, you're starting to see some young guys like Alec Pierce, the receiver, the second round receiver that they drafted. He's starting to make plays. Matt Taylor starts to look like the better version of himself as he that he did in Atlanta these last few years. Um, I, I like them a little bit better right now than I do the Titans coming off a bye. I will say everyone's going to be running to the books to back Derrick Henry to score over 2 touchdowns tomorrow, or over a touchdown, I guess tomorrow. Whatever it is, he needs to become the all-time franchise leader. Um, tomorrow. So passing Eddie George, who's actually one of the first football jerseys I ever had in my entire life. Great dude. But yeah, that's gonna be the hot play I think for a lot of people is the Derrick Henry prop. But I think Indianapolis can win this game. All things considered, um, I'm not really sold on the Titans and in years past, I thought their defense was a little bit better than it was this year, and now I'm just getting weird vibes from them. They don't do anything super great. They don't do anything, super horrible. It's just whatever. And it's a division game, game two, and you got the home. You've got a team in the Colts that, like I said, are getting their best player back. I think right now I'm leaning towards the Colts. That'll be a Sunday morning type of decision for me. But that's kind of where my head is on that. New York and Jacksonville, I'm staying away. I don't have any good reads on this. I think you said it best. I think that these teams are basically versions of themselves. Um, and I would say that I would give New York Giants the leg up just because of how well the coaching staff has performed. Because there's no reason why they should still only have one loss. Um, Not with the talent. If you look at like if we if we just sat there and looked at the roster and compared it to another team's roster, you'd be like, okay, well, I clearly know who the worst team is, and that's just not the case. And I think it's a testament to the coaching, right? And these guys are playing hard. I'm not going to discredit them there, but let's be real. Let's be real. The Giants have just found ways to scrap out of games, and it's commendable. Um, and I think that they probably win this game. But it's too close to call, and there's no variables one way or another that absolutely sway me one side or the other. So I would probably stay away from it. I would lean towards the Giants. Tampa Bay, Carolina. I'm hopping on that first half money line, or not money line, but first half spread. Um, no Sam Darnold, no Baker Mayfield. Christian McCaffrey just got traded. Brian Burns is being floated around in trade rumors. PJ Walker barely threw a ball past the line of scrimmage last week. And Tom Brady just reaffirmed that he's going to be playing past this year. Yeah, he said he has no plans to retire soon. He said that in a press conference. Literally this like a couple days ago. So I'm pretty much gonna have to take that for face value. That okay, he's serious. So I think more than anything else, the Bucks haven't played well. They haven't really played that well of late. Um, and Carolina is just absolutely in disarray, just in complete disarray right now. It's no different than like a baseball team that has guys hurt. They're in a slump and they can't hit, they can't pitch. It's just all bad, and you got to hop on them. It's kind of, how we were fading like the Miami Marlins, because their pitching just sucked and they couldn't hit. It's kind of that's how I feel about the Panthers right now. Like they can't score points. So, and you have arguably the best quarterback of all time on the other side. He's going to figure out a way to come out low spirited. Because again, like I said, they haven't played well of late. They still have a chance to win a division and all those things. And so I think Tom House is one of those moments where he's like, yo, okay, let's get it together. So I'm going to hop on that first half. I think they come out guns blazing and they'll cover that. And that's what I'm going to ride with for that game. I might take a team total under as well for the Panthers. I mean, they have no offense. They don't have a quarterback, and then the running back, it's just not good, man. Not good at all. So, yeah. Green Bay, Washington, staying far away from it. I have no desire to get in on that. I can't trust Aaron Rodgers right now, which is insane to think about. And the Commanders are, well, the Commanders. So keep that pushing. Obviously, my team, we get Dak back this week, which is really exciting for me as a person, as a fan. But then as our team, I think you get the added element of the Cowboys being much more of a team that you can look at for team totals and point production, because that was the biggest thing that was lacking with Cooper Rush. We couldn't generate big plays. We were bottom third in the league in like explosive plays over 20 yards. And that's because they weren't taking the risk and the chances that you need to generate those plays. And you have your starting quarterback now. The entire playbook is back on the table. I think that tomorrow they come out very spirited. They just lost the game to the Eagles, but I think that their part of it is that they realize that I think with our actual quarterback, we probably won that game. Cooper Rush had 3 turnovers himself, and somehow, some way, they found their way scrapping into the fourth quarter against the Eagles team. And so it was a tough loss, but like I said, you're getting your leader back. It's at home. I think the vibes are going to be immaculate tomorrow in Dallas. I'll be drunk by game time watching it. So I'm very excited to see it. I like them on the spread. Hold on one second. I'll pull this up real quick because I had it already laced up. So I've got them on the spread at -6. I got it earlier this week. It's -7 right now, plus 105 on my book. I think that's dicey. But if you don't like that, I think that there's a lot of value on the first half, -4 at -105. I think that's really good. And I also, where's my prop builder at? Here we go, right here. I have Dak. I've got his over 250 passing yards and 2+ passing touchdowns. That is a play that I like as well. And that's pretty much it. I also like CD over 90+ receiving yards. I got it at plus 175. I think with having your number one quarterback back, man, it just opens the passing game so much more. Yeah. I've got a couple other props if you guys, in regards to this game specifically. So if anyone wants any of them, just hit me up. Obviously my Twitter is in the description and whatnot. So I'll get to you about it. But then Atlanta, Cincy, I'm going to sound crazy as hell for this. I like Atlanta to win this game. I know it sounds insane. It sounds insane.
You saw what they've done lately? It's not really that insane. It isn't.
This is why. I think, okay, so we'll get the safe stuff out. I think that the +6 or whatever it is, I think that's pretty safe. I think going and looking for Falcons rushing props is also a good bet. They're like 3rd in rushing in the league. Hold on one second. I'll pull it up as a matter of fact because I had it laced up and everything. I had it written down. Here we go, right here. Yeah, so the Falcons are they're 3rd in the NFL in rushing, 9th in yards per carry, and 3rd in rushing touchdowns. That's how you control games, man. That's how the Cowboys literally just won without their starting quarterback for 4 games. Is you control the ball. You basically eat the clock so the other team just doesn't have the opportunity to get into a rhythm offensively, and that's how they stuck around in games. With obviously the Rams game being the difference. But for the most part, this is what they do. They run the ball. They play just good enough defense, and they figure out ways to get the games into the fourth quarter, and they'll backdoor cover the hell out of you, or just outright win games. And I don't like the vibes around the Bengals right now, man. Like Jamar Chase is hurt. T. Higgins is kind of banged up. The offensive line is still the offensive line. They barely beat the Saints last week. And that same Saints team barely beat the Falcons team that they're about to play tomorrow. They literally took them until it was a game-winning field goal, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a game-winning field goal in Atlanta, and they barely beat them. I gotta take me some underdogs. Tomorrow it's any given Sunday. That's the mantra around the NFL always. I like the Falcons. It's really like a low risk, high reward type of situation for me. I'm not putting a lot of stock into it. But I think they have as good of a chance as any to beat someone. So, and then Cleveland, Baltimore. I want to believe Baltimore figures things out tomorrow. But I think that this Cleveland defense, a lot of the talk about them being bad, I think it's a little bit overblown. So that is a play that, again, that's one of those Sunday morning re-look at the information that I have and go from there. I'm going to be honest, though, right now, the line is set at +6.5. You would be hard pressed to sit there and tell me that it'd be stupid not to take that +6.5. Brissett's had some pretty solid moments. Somehow, like you said, the Ravens just they're not very inspiring, like betting wise. There's nothing about them that you can say, okay, they're unequivocally better than this, and this. Because again, they should have beat the Giants last week. They didn't. It's just, yeah, I lean to the points in Cleveland here. It's a division game, and we talked about that multiple times on this show. It's division games, man. Anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. I mean, you even know with the Vikings, that Vikings game against the Lions earlier this year, they were just cruising. And then all of a sudden you walk away, you take a quick nap, you go take a shower, and you come out, and somehow, some way the Lions are 4 points back, and it's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And it's just weird stuff. Weird stuff happens in division games in NFL. Which is why often these lines are so close. And I'll take the team that I feel has a little bit more upside, and you get the cushion of 6.5 points right now. So
Yeah, if I was forced to make a play, like forced to pick a side, because I would take the over if anything,
yep.
because I do, and it's not. I don't think Cleveland's defense is bad. I think if those players go to any other team in the NFL, they will do just fine. But this team is jinxed.
It just has like a
Like,
stench. Yeah. No, I get it. Trust me, I get it.
uh,
And I mean, ultimately, again, the NFL, we've seen time and time this season. Last week was a perfect example, right? You had the Jets beating the Packers. Who else lost that was kind of awe-inspiring last week? The Falcons beating the 49ers. Somebody's going to get upset tomorrow. I don't know who. We're
Pittsburgh.
basically, yeah,
Pittsburgh won.
yeah. Pittsburgh won against the Bucks.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's value on one or two of these +200 dogs every week in the NFL. You just got to figure out who it is. Like I said, I'm going to take the points, but I wouldn't argue with someone's like, screw it, why not? I'll take the +235.
Yeah, for sure. And then we'll go on to the next, the afternoon games here, the 4 afternoon games. Speaking about dogs, I did take the dog, New York Jets. I took them +3.5. But that is no longer +3.5 for the Jets. They are now -1 favorites. So I knew as soon as I saw that, I actually saw it at +4.5. And then before I could get to it, it went to +3.5. And I knew what was going to happen in that game. But for me, Denver has bad coaching. Russell Wilson not going to be playing. I don't know if that's necessarily like the end of the world, basically, but I don't think it necessarily is going to help them. This is just for me. It's the Jets. I took the Jets at plus 3.5. I take them again at -1. I think the Jets win this game outright. This Denver team is just yes, they got good defense, but they have an inexistent offense. And the Jets have a good defense too, but they have an offense that's actually being able to do things lately. So, yes, for me, I'll be taking the New York Jets in this one. Houston, Vegas. Uh, I'm ultimately off this game. I think Vegas wins, but -7. I don't really want to take that many points with Vegas this year, based on how they played. So that's ultimately a pass. Seattle and the Chargers. I do like the Chargers here at home, minus the 4.5. I look for them to beat Seattle here. Chargers offense hasn't really looked all that special. Hasn't really looked that good compared to what it should be. But I think they can pull out a win here at home against Seattle. 4.5. I like the spread there. Kansas City and San Francisco. I don't want to say the controversial game of the week, but this is a lot of people on different sides on this one. For me, I am taking the road favorites here. I got them at -3. It is now -120 for the money line. I get it. McCaffrey is on San Francisco. I get it. San Francisco has a great defense, but Mahomes lost that game against the Bills. Mahomes did. He threw that interception and he lost that game for his team. He's not going to lose this game for his team. Mahomes is going to come out pissed in this one, and that's what for me is enough. Yes, San Francisco has a great passing defense, but look what they did to Atlanta last week. I know you're not supposed to whatever, but like they literally lost Atlanta, and you're telling me they're going to come in here and stop a pissed off Mahomes, who's going to be motivated as hell in this one? I don't see it. Give me the Chiefs. Bryant, the afternoon games. Four actually pretty good games. Well, two. One's obviously the best, but not horrible games as we've sometimes had. But what do you think about the afternoon games here?
Yeah, I think all these games are, like you said, pretty entertaining. The quality of football might not necessarily be great, but I think that they should be largely fairly close games that come down to the fourth quarter. New York and Denver under me. Winds are supposed to be crazy in Denver tomorrow and mile high. I thought I read somewhere like north of like 30 miles per hour. Under me. That's why the under is set at 37. The total is set at 37. First half under me, absolutely. Brett Rypien is going to be the starting quarterback for the Broncos. You don't know who he is, which proves my point. He was a very lightly recruited guy out of high school. He's the nephew, I believe, of Mark Rypien, the old Washington quarterback from years ago. But I think he's going to be the starter. But the total set at 37. And the first half line is under 17.5. I am taking that. We know what the Jets are going to want to do. They're going to want to run the ball. The Broncos are going to want to do the same thing. They're running out a backup quarterback. They know the win. They're going to be playing the field position. Their defense is pretty damn solid, all things considered, which is why I never understood people got upset about the whole Justin Herbert thing. They've allowed, I think 3 total touchdown passes the entire season to this point. Something like that. It's a very minute number. So it wasn't crazy that he didn't get a touchdown pass. But anyway, I like the under there. I don't think Zach Wilson's going to just light it up tomorrow. The Jets are going to rely on that run game like they did against the Packers, and they're going to play some tough defense. And I think all those things considered, I could see this game being 17-9, something like that. So that's going to be my play in that game. Houston at Las Vegas. I'm going to be looking at props. for Devontae Adams. Or yeah, no, not Devontae Adams. What is his name? Um, Mac Hollins, the receiver for the Raiders. Um, I like his game. He's seen an uptick in production over the last basically month or so. So that's a play that I'm going to be looking at there. I don't really have a side. Again, that's going to be one of those Sunday morning decisions. The Seattle at the Chargers. I like the over, man. Seattle's defense sucks ass. I think because they suck, and this is one of the lighter units that the Chargers have faced of late. Um, I like the Chargers to have a game where they put up 30 something points. That secondary is not good for the Seahawks, not good at all. There are guys on there that probably should be on like someone's practice squad, and they're starting against Justin Herbert and Mike Williams and that passing offense. I'm not sure if we see Keenan Allen, but if Keenan Allen somehow plays tomorrow, come on now. And I don't think the Chargers defense is horrible, but we've seen Geno be very efficient this year, man. He's put together some some serious games, and ultimately I like the over cashing here. It may take us to the fourth quarter, but I'm going to run with that, and I'm going to take that. And then this is my favorite play of the day. You said everything that I wanted to say, so I won't stand like I won't back it up too much. I don't see it, man. Everyone's talking about the 49ers. They made the trade for CMC, and ultimately, and I saw someone talk about this on TV recently. At the end of the day, they've did the same variation of the 49ers, right? Like where they've went all in on the run game and they've tried to defend their way into the Super Bowl. And this same matchup was a Super Bowl a couple years ago. The difference in that game was the quarterback play. Pat Mahomes was Pat Mahomes. And Jimmy G is, well, Jimmy G, who we thought he was. Pat's coming off a bad game. Where, like you said, he threw the game away, man. I have a friend of mine who's a very big Chiefs fan. He didn't play well, and that's not to say the Buffalo Bills didn't deserve to win that game. I think they played a really good game, but I think if Pat played better, that we know he can, and we've seen him play better, they would have found a way to win that game. They didn't. He comes out. He gets the 49ers. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even really think this game is gonna end up being close. So yes, the -1.5 is great. I'm getting crazy, and I smashed. What did I put it at? I went ahead and took an alternate line on this game, and it was the Chiefs plus, or not Chiefs plus. It was the Chiefs -6.5, and it was plus 190. I think the Chiefs come out here and win this game by a touchdown. I mean, because let's think about this. If the Chiefs get up, how are the 49ers getting back in this game? Because they're not gonna. Jimmy G is not gonna out. He's not gonna get in a shootout with Pat Mahomes. It's not happening. It's just not happening. So if the Chiefs come out and attack the 49ers like I expect them to, you're gonna be playing catch up. And if you want to play catch up with the Chiefs, all right, Pat's just gonna keep slinging it, and that gives us the best chance to cash this. So I basically laddered the plays here. This is crazy, I know, but I went with obviously the regular -1. That's -115. You can double up on the money line. I also went ahead and took the first quarter spread, and that's plus 110. And then I have, like I said, that -6.5 at plus 190. I think they come out here and get it done. And lastly, I went ahead and took the Kansas City Chiefs first half, and that's at 11.5 points, over 11.5 points, and that's -120. I'm all Chiefs tomorrow. I might as well wear a Pat Mahomes jersey or some Chiefs gear. But I think they win this game. I don't really think it's something that's going to be all too close. And if it's close, it's close in the first, and the Chiefs just grind them away and put it away in the second half. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So go Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree. Because I think it feels like everybody loves San Francisco this week.
Well, I think
Um,
people love San Francisco because they run this like grinded out style of game. They run the ball. I mean, all that's great. I think that people severely like underestimate how well Andy Reid is at adjusting to teams week to week. He's a phenomenal coach in that regard. Like I couldn't tell you last time I saw the Chiefs just had like an outright just like shitty couple of weeks. Yes, Cubano, go Kings. I smacked the money line and I got the over there. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I like the Chiefs to get it done, man.
yeah, for sure. Me too. And then we'll go on to Sunday night football. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know. Before I get to the actual game, what is with these primetime games? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't
Well,
understand how. I know every team has to play like what, like one or two,
yeah, basically everyone rotates on Monday night and Sunday night.
but it just seems like we're getting awful matchups every single game. Like it's just,
Yeah, I think this one sucks though because I think that they thought that the Steelers would have found like a better quarterback option. Because like in the offseason, I don't think this would have been that bad of a game. But now that we see what happened with the Dolphins quarterback situation and the Steelers quarterback situation, it looks horrible. But like in other years, this would be a good game because it would be Big Ben and
yeah.
you know.
But looking at this year, this game,
Yeah, no, it's horrible. This is a horrible game. And the
I
Yankees play
yeah.
tomorrow night, so I'm not going to be watching this anyway. So this means nothing to me.
Yeah, I think I will be watching hockey. Let me check what time that game is on that I like. Okay, no, that's earlier on. I don't know what I'll be watching, but with this game here, Steelers Dolphins, Tua returning after that injury on the field. I, I do. Will he play this entire game? That's one question to be asked, and I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about this game. I think Miami wins it, but 7.5 in this one, and I just don't know if Tua should be playing in this game. I'm not a medical expert, so I'm not going to go any further. But from what we all saw on the field there, I just don't know about this game. Um, I think Miami wins it, but I think Steelers might be able to cover the 7.5. So this game will be ultimately a pass for me. Bryant, Sunday Night Football, Steelers, Dolphins. What do you think here?
Uh, like we said, there's going to be so many more important things to watch tomorrow night around the time that this game is on. The House of Dragon season finale, playoff baseball. You can just find so many other things to eat up your
Walking Dead. For
yeah.
anybody that watches Walking Dead.
Yeah, there's so many things you can find to take up your Sunday night with. I think that the best play for me, um, so I guess
55 times is a lot. But no, I think my yeah, before I don't want to cut you off, Brian, but that just brought up a good point. I don't think Tua is gonna want to get hit, obviously. Like that should be I think he might throw the ball. I think they might run the ball more. I think he might throw the ball quicker than he should
yeah,
to
100%.
avoid getting hit.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, but yeah, go ahead, Brian.
No, I think that's very valid. I think if anything, I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with the first. If I'm gonna make a play in this, and depends on this is one of those plays where it depends on how the rest of your day went before you make a play on this game. It's solely like, oh, okay, today was good. I got a little money I can spend. I'll take a little gamble, whatever, just to give me something to do. But if I have a bad day tomorrow, I'm not touching this game because it's only going to get worse. Um, but if I'm going to make a play, it's going to be in the first half under because I think exactly what you said. The Dolphins are going to come out there and try to slow play it, protect Tua if he does play, run the ball heavy. And it's even more of a case if Tua just somehow doesn't play and it's Teddy Bridgewater, they're going to run the ball. And we know the Steelers are going to try to run the ball. So that's going to be my play personally if I'm gonna hop on this. But again, that is dependent on how the rest of my betting day goes tomorrow between hockey and NFL prior to Sunday Night Football, and I guess the MLB for that matter. But yeah, Mm. Ooh, that's kind of
That's
interesting.
probably a pretty plus. That's probably plus pretty nice plus money there.
That's
So,
you might have said something. Hold on now. I didn't think about that. I definitely would. I would look at maybe like a Tyreek Hill under touchdown prop. Because Steelers are going to try to take him away if they do. If the Dolphins do try to pass the ball, they're going to not let him beat them. Um, I'm sure you could probably get some decent odds out of that. Um, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, right now I'm looking at that first half under. I think the game is very sluggish at the beginning. Um, yeah, that's about it.
all right. Next up, BetStamp. Use code WILD in the referral code section. Do your line shopping, especially with NFL. The books, a lot of different books have different lines. So you can definitely get better numbers if you have access to those books. Follow me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. Brian is happy about something that just happened in a game.
Blues are about to cover. Our Blues just scored in the first. I got the Blues money line, and I got the Sens first period spread. It was plus 115, and the Sens are up 2-0 with 3 minutes left in the first period. So two good plus money plays, looking good so far. So that's a good feeling in hockey.
Yeah, I stayed off the Blues game. Um, I was surprised the Blues are plus money,
That's why
but
I
I
took it.
stayed off.
That's why I
Yeah,
took it. I said
yeah.
against
I don't know. Something just didn't seem right about it
against
with
the
the Blues being plus
Oilers,
money.
the Oilers goalies. Oh nah, give me that.
And then the Coyotes, I didn't end up pulling the trigger on Coyotes plus 1.5, which I'm glad I didn't because of well, they're down by two, but they have their 7-1 in their last 8 games in Ottawa. So the Coyotes could potentially not be dead quite
Yeah,
yet, but I
well,
have
I'm
the
not.
over.
That's why I took the
Yeah,
first period. So as long as this cashes, I don't care.
yeah, I have the over 6.5. So gives me a reason to watch until one gets scored. The no TD prop. That's true. That's true. Gabe Velarde plus 360. Take advantage. Yeah, I think him to get a point is probably plus money again.
Yep,
So I'll be
it
having
is.
that because yeah, I don't. Books are focused on other things, I guess. But Stamkos goal tonight. Fuck that. Cubano like Stamkos, and then Marchment. Yeah, I was on Marchment to get a point that cashed as well. There's definitely players to take advantage of right now. But looking at hockey for tomorrow, um, right off the bat, my best bet Seattle Kraken money line, minus 118. I'm going to give it out right this moment. I'm taking Seattle. Yes, Seattle coming off a big win against the Avalanche. Um, Chicago coming off a win against their not division rival now, but against a huge rival to the city. Um, Chicago's not going to win 2 games in a row very often. This Seattle team, I really like this Seattle team. I think that it's a great play at the minus 118. And I'll also be on Kraken team total over 3.5, which is my total as well. I really like this game. I think Seattle comes out here and wins this something like 5-1, 5-2. I think we get a big game from the Kraken in this one. Islanders in Florida. Florida's minus 182. Islanders plus 162, but Islanders on a back to back. So I'm not too interested there. I'm assuming that it's Sorokin tonight. So if it's Varlamov tomorrow, I may potentially look at Florida in regulation and see what the price is on that, maybe. But other than that, it'll be a pass. Anaheim and Detroit. The Red Wings are minus 142 in this one at the best price to get them. Anaheim is plus 130, 6.5. Hmm. I think Ville Husso will probably be back in net for this one after Nedeljkovic got the loss against Chicago. Um, I like Detroit most likely in regulation. I think they bounce back here. This Anaheim team has got off to a really rough start and it has not fixed itself yet. So um, Columbus and the Rangers. Rangers minus 182. You can get them on the puck line plus 125. That's not horrible to get Rangers puck line at home against Columbus. I'll have to look into the game a little bit more. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet or on any hockey yet. But doing this early show, looking ahead, I'm giving my thoughts there. Another reason to follow me at Let's Go Wild Picks, because then when I do make my bets, you'll be able to see them there. So download BetStamp, free app, lots of good things about it. But the final game, San Jose and Philadelphia. Oof, this is like the 1-800 gambler bum fight game, if there ever is one. Sharks and Philly. Philly minus 143 favorites at home. Sharks plus 125 on the road. Uh, I can't back. I don't want to back the Sharks. That's and both of these teams I think will be on a back to back here. Let me see. So Philly's playing tonight, but San Jose did play already. They lost 2-1 to New Jersey. So it might be Kakinen in net for tomorrow, and he's struggled heavily. Nashville or Philly has to play Nashville tonight. So yeah, both these teams on a back to back. I probably won't get involved. Uh, Maybe an over actually, potentially, because I think the total Will said earlier. Oh, it was a 5.5. Now it's a 6. So we did have a 5.5 briefly. Oh, there's a couple still available, minus 120, but mostly sixes. I think that's probably a good over spot. San Jose, Philly, surprisingly. Bryant, NHL for tomorrow. Have you looked at any of the games? Do you have any thoughts that you might like here?
Yeah. Only two games I've looked at right now. Was the Seattle game. Like you, I'm on the money line for the Kraken. Um, that's fair. I mean, I'm a football loving guy first and foremost. So, um, but hockey gives me a perfect break from baseball. Um, because I the overs and stuff have been cashing. Um, it's been a fun time with that. So I've got to be wary about these full game money lines and full game puck line plays. Um, but yeah, so but yeah, I like Seattle, man. I kind of call me crazy, and I'm sure people who know a little bit more about hockey than me, from my little bubble, it looks like the Seattle Kraken are starting to learn how to like play like fully as a team. They look like more complete as a unit. Um, I think we also learned that the Avs have goalie problems. It just the Avs do not. They've got to fix that. I don't know what's going on with, but their goalies are garbage. Um, they're just not playing the same like they were last year. Obviously, I know Darcy is playing for the Caps, which I get to see him tonight. But yeah, team totals have been cashing left and right for a lot of people with the Kraken, and so I'm gonna take the better looking team of late, and that is Seattle for me. And I also like the Rangers on the puck line tomorrow against the Blue Jackets. Um, they're at home. They were a very good home team last year as well. I might pop that in a parlay with some of those NFL favorites as well. See if I can maybe drop like $75 on like a 4 or 5 team parlay and see what I can squeeze out of it.
They're coming off the loss to San Jose too,
Yeah,
so
that
the
too.
Rangers should
Yeah,
be
yeah, and they didn't
motivated.
they didn't cover the puck line on that either. Because I actually had that play. Thank you for reminding me. So yes, I do like the Rangers, and I'm assuming because they've had a day off, we get Shesterkin in net tomorrow as well, which will only help our case. So yeah, I'm staying away from that Sharks Flyers game. Nothing good can come from betting on that game, especially early in the season. I'm good. So I may revisit the Islanders and the Panthers, but other than that, those are gonna be my two hockey plays, and I keep it pushing.
All right. I do want to announce that I will not be choosing Seattle money line as my best bet because the odds have moved drastically over the last few minutes, actually. But I didn't want to interrupt you. Seattle, the best price you can get for Seattle on the money line is minus 135 at one spot.
Oh
It's
no,
minus 140 to minus 150 everywhere else. So while it was minus 118 a few minutes ago, that has all changed drastically
well,
in this one.
I
So
guess
I
it's
don't
just
know
a
if there
Rangers play
was
then.
news or something, but Seattle are now big favorites. So their money line will not be my best bet because I won't give a money line at minus 135 as my best bet.
At
unless
least
it's
not
the
with the
Wild.
Kraken. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if it's the Wild, but Terry's moving lines on the show apparently because those lines moved pretty quickly. So yeah, I still like Seattle though. I will be on the team total over. I might have to put the money line in a parlay. You could look at them in regulation. I don't want to take them by 2, but you could look at them in regulation to get a plus price, which is probably how I'm going to have to go about it now. But next up, MLB playoffs. Um, will be honest, as I said on the show earlier today, I've kind of completely tuned out baseball playoffs now. Um, yes, okay, the Jays have been eliminated, and yeah, but it's the Phillies. I had Phillies first 5 the other day, Bryant.
Yeah.
Phillies first 5 and Phillies money line. I had one is my best bet, one is my dog of the day. They were up 4-0.
Is
It
that the
was looking
Nola game?
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it all fell apart, and I'm like, okay, that's it. Bye baseball. You're done. See ya. That's how my baseball season is ending right there because I'm just gonna focus on hockey. So still no baseball for me. We'll see when the World Series happens. But from what I hear, people are saying that um, the Astros are pretty much like going to beat the Yankees. I haven't checked anything, but Bryant, do your Yankees stand a chance? Can they get back in this series tonight
If
or
if
tomorrow?
they if they lose tonight with Cole, it's not happening. I really think that if they don't win tonight, they very well could get swept. So effectively speaking, yes, this is our season. Tonight, you have your best pitcher on the mound. You're at home. Your back is against the wall. You win, and you legitimately have a chance to even it up tomorrow night with Nestor on the mound. But in terms of tomorrow, it's going to be Cortez. If you guys want any plays or want my thoughts on anything baseball related tomorrow, hit me. You can find me on Twitter. Hit me up after this game happens tonight and earlier in the day tomorrow, and I'll give you a better answer. But I can't really cap this until I know what happens tonight because any
Yeah,
number of
there's no odds for either game, so
yeah,
I
because
realize that there's no odds for
exactly,
either game. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah. But yeah, we can talk. Like I said, somebody can hit me up if they want to know my thoughts. And I'll be honest, I've bet against my team this season. Um, I've I've bet teams to hold us under a certain amount of runs, and they've been true and they've hit before too. So I'm not scared to bet against my team. But yeah, right now I don't have any clue as to what a good bet for tomorrow would be until I know what happens tonight. So
yeah, that makes sense, and especially with no odds,
yeah,
that's kind of tough too to recommend bets when there are no odds yet. But other picks, I guess basically the only thing left is NBA,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I am still waiting on. But any spots that you like for tomorrow for NBA?
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow. Ooh, hold on one second. Let me see if I can whip some. Nah, my book is only having. It looks like pretty much everything for today. That might be another play. I will put it. I would. If anyone has any questions on that, I cap NBA pretty much every day now. It's one of those sports. I love them. I love the NBA. So I know we won't have a show tomorrow, but if anyone has any questions or anything like that, I know Cubano knows we've shared stuff like when I haven't been on the show and we've gone back and forth, and feel free to just hit me up and I'll let you know. But like I said, I do cap NBA every day and I do bet on the NBA every day until it gets like very, very bad for me. And then I'll like ease up. But right now I've cashed on a couple plays. I dropped the first play of the night or the opening night play with the Pelicans. FYI, the Pelicans might be my first quarter kings. They cashed the first quarter against the Nets. They looked great against the Hornets last night on the first quarter. They're young, they're hungry. I think they got there's like that desire to go out there and prove something. So early on this season, looks like they're just coming out and just blitzing teams. And you got first quarter -2 against the Hornets, who don't have their best player and they don't have their second best player. I'll take that every single day. because then it makes the Pelicans have the 3 best players on the court. It was an easy cash. I think they ended up winning. They ended up leading the first quarter by 12 points. So that's just something to look out for. And you can never go wrong with those Luka points, rebounds, and assist props. He's everything to the Mavs. But yeah, so like if anyone has any questions tomorrow, just let me know and I'll drop some plays. I'm always down to talk NBA. So
Awesome. Yeah, that's why you can find Brian's link in the description below, mine as well. All of our links are in the description below to Twitter. So make sure to give us a follow. And if you're not on Twitter, I wasn't for a while, but with sports betting, Twitter's actually
tool.
a great
It's a great tool.
space.
Yes.
The news that you get, like Twitter's very valuable.
Yep. You can literally find picks. I mean, not blindly, but I follow people who I don't even really know in sports that I didn't really know. And no problem, my man. I follow people I don't really know, like hockey picks, and I was really just getting into it. And like you, for example, I was blindly following you on some picks when I was just watching this show because I stumbled upon it. And that's how I got into NHL. And I was like, okay, I made some money off this. So then that led me to get into it full time. But I mean, I advise everyone to do the same. If you sports bet, you don't have to tweet or do anything else. Just literally hashtag gambling Twitter and the world is unlocked for you. And there's just so many resources.
Yeah. But yeah, especially for news like players being out, and Twitter's actually very useful. So we'll go on to the best bet segment here for tomorrow. Not a lot of picks. Obviously, people are still getting adjusted to the fact there's no show Sunday. We're going to do it Saturday night, but that's all good. Over under for me tomorrow. Kraken team total over 3.5 plus 111. The Blackhawks, Peter Mrazek will be out, so it'll be Alex Stalock, who's looked really well for them, really good for them so far. But I don't think that lasts too much longer. So give me Kraken team total over. Nick is going with Seattle and LA Chargers under 51. Bryant, what are you thinking for over under?
Yeah. My over is going to be I am going to go. My over under is going to be the under in that Broncos Jets game. It sounds crazy, I know. Under 37 is an insanely low number for professional football, but I just don't see it, man. And even if the Jets win, which I think they will, like I said, I think it might be like 22-9 or something like that. Just nasty.
37.5 is minus 104.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Yeah, I haven't got on that yet, but I'm liking the under too because Denver is a really good under team because they don't have an offense, but they do have a defense. So
yep.
I like it. Going on to dog of the day, for me, it would have been the New York Jets, but they're no longer a dog. So I will take the New York Giants to beat Jacksonville. Nick will take the Indianapolis Colts to beat Tennessee. Bryant, what do you think here for dog of the day?
I am going to follow the train. I think actually I'm going to take screw that. I'm going to buck the trend and I'm going to go with the Falcons. I talked about it and I'm going to live my raps. I'm going to take the Falcons to beat the Bengals at plus 225.
245. Plus 245. At the Falcons. All right. And then going on to best bet, as I said, it would have been Seattle Kraken money line for me. But with the odds change, I'm going to jump over to football with my favorite play of the day. And that is Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs money line minus 120. I think Mahomes has a big game tomorrow. So give me Chiefs minus 120. Nick is going. So I'm going against Nick now. But Nick is taking the 49ers money line plus 114. And Ryan is going with Vegas and Houston over 45.5. Cord likes Commanders money line. It's my favorite team.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to say I feel bad for you, but I wish you all the best with the Commanders. Um, Bryant, what do you think here? Best bet.
Yeah, my best bet is going to be Chiefs first quarter minus a half at plus 110.
First quarter minus a half.
Yes, sir.
Minus 110.
No, it's plus 110.
That's 110. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like that actually. But look at the Heineke is an upgrade for Wentz. Yeah. Well, I think really anything is an upgrade for Wentz, but I know that's well. I don't want to like. I don't know. He has his good moment. He's been a really good quarterback in this league at times. He has, but now at this point, well, he finds ways to throw interceptions at horrible times. But um, yeah, that is today's show. Everybody watching in the replay, thanks for watching. The guys watching live, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. CMAC touchdown, Cubano says.
Yeah, he's gonna get a bunch of red zone touches. They have a package for him. So he won't be used elsewhere, but they said they've already come up with a little package for him in the red zone. So I'm not mad
Oh,
at it.
well, that might be a good bet, actually.
Yeah.
All right. But best luck to everybody on your bets tomorrow with NFL. Today, Saturday, hockey and college football and basketball and baseball and whatever you're betting on. Best of luck, and we'll see you again Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Another episode, Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Best of luck, guys.